Andy Janovich may not be available at fullback. They did use Kareem Hunt as a fullback last year when he first came back. Is that maybe something you look for them to sneak him in there because he can be effective out of the backfield as a fullback, a non-traditional lining up as fullback in the pass game?
I mean, if there's one criticism I have of kind of how they've run this offense is that we haven't seen enough of those two guys on the field together. I think that would cause a lot of problems. Now, what they would probably say is they want to keep each guy fresh. So they don't want these guys playing a ton of snaps together for the first three quarters. They want to be fresh in the fourth quarter, like we saw against Houston and we've seen in other games. But maybe this will force their hand a little bit, and you will have to see Kareem Hunt lined up as a fullback, or maybe you'll see them get a little more creative, splitting guys out wide. Maybe they'll use a tight end back there a little bit. I don't think they're going to just call Johnny Stanton up from the practice squad and give him all of Andy Janovich's snaps. They're going to have to get creative. And if there's one thing this coaching staff can do with big personnel, it's get creative. I mean, they'll put three tight ends on and spread everybody out. So I'm not real worried about finding ways to use guys, but maybe this is the opportunity to finally push the issue a little bit and get both your running backs on the field together.
You bring up a pretty good point. You have to be really impressed with the way this coaching staff has handled everything. First year head coach Kevin Stefanski, look at the offensive line with Bill Callahan. It's been a very nice departure from what we have seen, just in the way games have been called, managed, those kind of things.
And it feels like Kevin Stefanski is willing to lean on guys. There's not division in there. It's not Freddie Kitchens versus Todd Monken. It's, Bill Callahan is one of the best offensive line coaches in football. So I'm going to let Bill Callahan coach this offensive line and make them great. And oh, by the way, if I need help, I can walk down the hallway and knock on his door and ask him questions. I'm going to let Alex Van Pelt work with Baker Mayfield. He's really been a guy that hasn't been afraid to kind of spread out the workload and delegate, and then also give credit when credit is due to those guys. Kevin hasn't been a coach who's, looking to talk about what he's done and what he's accomplished and the fact that he's 6-3. He really spreads it around and kind of trusts his coaches and his players and gives them all the credit. So he's been really great in that regard. And with all the adversity that COVID stuff hitting him, and now everybody's going into these intensive protocols, this team is prepared for all of that stuff. So it bodes well for them moving forward.